Every Minecraft PvPer wants these three things: higher FPS, lower ping, and better hit rate. So I put three of the best Minecraft optimizers to see which one is truly the best. And at the end, I'll use all three together to see how much FPS I can actually get. Like, subscribe, so I can get Hypixel YouTube break. But anyways, enjoy the rest of the video. All right, so as you can tell, I just reset my computer. So all the optimizations I've done so far besides BIOS are completely gone. It's basically just stock Windows. Like, you see all these animations and whatnot, which the optimized versions won't have. So before we get into the first optimizer, I just wanted to say a few things. I do make money for promoting for each optimizer, whether it's through affiliate links or by posting a video and promoting them. All links will be in the description. If you don't believe me, at some point all optimizers will offer a free version if they aren't already, which make sure to like, and I'll make a separate video using only free optimizers. But anyways, let me get into Hone. But before we get into Hone, let's see how much FPS we get without any optimizers to get a clean comparison. As you can tell, I am on default Minecraft, and I'm going to be doing a lot of benchmarking with this, but I just wanted to show y'all the FPS I got before. Looks like I'm getting around 1100 to 1200. I have all the default Lunar Client mods. I do not have any profile. However, I am using a texture pack. I need this one. No optimized windows, bro. Come on, lock in. No, bro, are you serious right now? All right, so I'm gonna open up a survivor world, create world. I'm getting around 600 FPS. I'm in a jungle. The background process count, and I'm getting 200. But let's see how that goes with Hone. All right, for this first optimizer, I'm gonna be using Hone if you haven't heard already. So all you have to do is click download, and it's just an application, I believe. I'm just gonna open it up. I just log in, and I think I just start clicking buttons. It takes a little bit to install. I'll cut to when it's fully done. All right, so I've just finished logging in, and I do have premium. Hone does also have a free version where I believe you get 10 free optimizations, but I'm just going to be trying to use as many as possible to make it as optimized as possible. Right now it says 0%, but I'm just going to start clicking things and see where that brings us. I see there's optimizations boost up. I'm going to try all of these. I'm just going to speed run doing all these, and I'll see you in Minecraft. But I also do want to point out there's some things like super fetch which you want to make sure you have on if you play games like Ranked Battle Wars, or they could ban you. I'll put a list of everything you need to have enabled in the description so you can quickly enable them after doing all these optimizations. I just wanted to point that out. Right here, I also am optimizing the entire Java edition, which makes it much easier to apply all these optimizations. Like, it already has 22, along with all the other optimizations I'm going to be using since I have premium. Alright, so I just finished optimizing. I'm at 97%, so now I'm going to restart my computer and then launch Lunar Client to see which change. So I just actually did a buffer bloat test with the Hone optimizations, and I got an A score, which is pretty decent. Later on, I definitely do get higher. But let me open up Minecraft and see how it actually performs in game. It unfortunately does not seem like there's any lunar profile it comes with, so I'm just going to use the default, I guess. So my ping does seem a little lower than before, which really sucks that there isn't like a lunar profile I could use. Let's see if I can kill him. Let's see how this hit reg is. Okay, I might need to turn on hurt cam. Oh, that guy killed me. Let me turn on hurt cam real quick. I also need to put on a texture pack. Okay, I got that first hit. He's the same ping as me, which is, I guess, good. Hurt cam just did not work. Let me get this bed. All right, I think that's GG's. Let's go. All right, so I decided I'm just going to use my own Lunar Client profile and use a texture pack. Honestly, so far, it's not even that bad. My hit reg seems pretty good, and my FPS, unfortunately, doesn't seem like it's changed, though. Obviously, using optimizations make you sacrifice a lot of Windows features, like all the animations and whatnot, and a ton of apps. But I'll look at the background processes after this game and see how much that's gone down from just default Windows. Oh. All right, that's GG's. Let me take a look at the process count. CPU, I got 132 processes. That's honestly not too bad since I have so many things open out. I'll try going in a survival world and see my FPS there. All right, so it looks like I'm getting a pretty significant amount of FPS compared to unoptimized Windows. I guess we'll just move on to the next optimizer, which is StopTheLag. Before we get into StopTheLag, I think I'm gonna rate this as 7.5. The FPS was kind of the same or slightly increased, but the hit reg was definitely much better, and the buffer bloat was an A, which is pretty good, honestly. I'm kind of surprised because people typically rate Hone much lower. The only downside and why I didn't rate this any higher is because it just isn't very tailored to Minecraft, which honestly is the only reason I didn't rate this higher. But yeah, let's get into the next optimizer. optimizer. All right, so I just got StopTheLag, and this one's different than the rest of the optimizers. So for this one, it actually focuses primarily on your ping, your hit reg, and is making everything feel smooth like in your PvP experience. It's a lot more focused for your Minecraft PvP and just the experience rather than just FPS and whatnot. So it's more of a premium experience. So it's also a little bit more the pricey side, and you're paying for like the top quality rather than just getting a bit of everything. You're getting like specifically hit reg optimizations and whatnot. So once you buy this, you're actually gonna hop on any desk with the guy and he'll give you access, and he gives you this program, which I'll show in a second. And he also goes through all your settings and personalizes like your PvP experience specifically just for you. Like for every player, it's gonna be different. He goes with you for like 15-30 minutes, just switches all your settings around until you like what you like. There's different settings, like even there's like a section for TNT tag if you play that. There's special features. So if I go to experimental, there's settings here. You'll see that there's a bunch of different settings specifically for like stacking your hits, taking less knockback. This is like the main part right here. There's 6 different categories. There's best hit reg, sumo, balance, better hit reg, default, conditioning, and hypixel. For different cases or for different people, you want to use different ones. For me, I use sumo as a best hit reg instead of this one, because for sumo, it's more of like delayed knockback. This one's for lower ping players. And then better hit reg I use for like bed fight and whatnot. This is less of an FPS software, so it won't really change your FPS. However, if you want to do some FPS tweaks, he does do them, like he did some for me. But as you will see, this is more of a default Windows. I do highly recommend stacking this onto something like Hone or Swills. If you have extra money lying around and you want to get like the top tier PvP experience, I do recommend buying this. You can also like change these in the middle of the game, but I already like figured out what I like. I tested this in sumo and bed fight. I had the best results in sumo. Like I was actually like cooking some good players like Larry's. He's an S tier sumo player. Your settings are so like specific just so you can get like the best hit reg or like what you are good at, like your play styles. It's kind of hard to explain. He'll definitely like explain it better. But, like if I want to take less KB and go for trades rather than combos, I could do that. It can also like change like your blocks. Like sometimes they could play faster or slower by obviously like by a very small margin, but that could really change your play style. I know some people may say this is placebo, but I do recommend trying it out. There's definitely a difference. All right, that guy just quit. So let me see if I can do sumo. All right, so now I'm in sumo against an S tier player. I know I was like cooking him earlier, but my hands are kind of tired now. But this guy's really good. I'm like a B-, B+ sumo player. Bro, I thought I killed him there. Okay, there. All right, see, like, this is a really good player, and I'm actually doing decent against him. Also, for those wondering, this is allowed in, like, tier testing or, like, ranked bed wars. It shouldn't get you banned off any servers. Like, I've been using this for months, but I tried it again recently just for this video. I'd give this, like, an 8 or 9 out of 10. Obviously, like, this isn't good for, like, FPS gains. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. All right, for the last optimizer of this video, before I combine them all and play some bed wars, I'm gonna try out Swills. They just released a new application similar to what Hone has, but apparently it's the best one out of all I've tested so far and guarantees to double your FPS. So I'm gonna try it out right now using their premium subscription, and it takes around 15 to 30 minutes to apply all the tweaks and be fully optimized. So if I click start boosting, and then I have to create a restore point. This is so just in case I can always go back if anything goes wrong, but it just finished, and if I go to create a restore point and click system restore, I should now see that right here. Yep, I can just revert before the optimizations. I'm just gonna continue going through this entire list. There seems to be 12 different options, but they also do have a free version coming soon if you do not want to buy it and if you want to like test it out first. But anyway, I'm gonna apply all these, and then I'm gonna get into some bed wars or bed fight, I guess. I'm getting a solid 1500 FPS. All these optimizations were done after I've already like overclocked my computer with BIOS tweaks. But let me look into this guy and see how much FPS I'm gonna get. All right. It seems I'm getting around 1600, but I'm getting pretty decent FPS, and obviously this will be different depending on your PC. But I also did a buffer bloat test, which basically some stuff to do with your network, I guess. And it went from an A rating to an A+, and I'll show the screenshots on screen. But honestly, I definitely feel like that's made a difference in like my hit rate and connection to the server and whatnot. I haven't been like encountering as many lag spikes. This guy needs to install Swills, bro. There were some really good results with this. I feel like the FPS, if I was on like a lower NPC or if I didn't already have a ton of optimizations, it would have like been a lot better. But my ping definitely does feel better. The next thing you're gonna see in this video is with all the optimizations combined. Let's see how that ends up. Before I move on to the conclusion of this video and show what it's like using all 3 of the optimizers together, I do want to add on that if you go to Task Manager and then head over to the process count, it is at 111. When I was doing testing earlier, it got all the way down to to 74, I believe. I'll show a side by side of default Windows and what it was before. Like, it's already going lower. It's at 109, but I'm recording and everything, so it goes higher. Because of the lower ping, the better hit reg, and also more FPS, I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10, just because it is a little pricey to some people. They do have a free version coming soon, so make sure to like if you want to see me test out free optimizers for my next video. Anyway, let me move on to the last segment. All right, so I'm now going to use all 3 applications we've used so far and combine them to see how much FPS I can actually get and how smooth my hit reg will be. So I'm going to spend the next probably 15 to 30 minutes optimizing, and then I'll get back to you once I'm in a game. All right, so it's actually like really late for me now because it took forever to apply all the tweaks. However, I just finished, and oh boy, bro, this is going to be interesting. I just queued up for the first bed fight game with these settings. I did a buffer bloat test, and it was worse than the original Swills test I did. However, I played like 1 game of sumo, and it was pretty nice. I'm not even gonna lie. I have StopTheLag, Swills, and then Hone all on together, bro. I highly recommend not doing this because like the settings will override each other. I don't know, bro. It feels so weird. I feel like it'd be better just to have like StopTheLag and like Hone or Swills together, and not all 3, bro. I don't think Hone is a good combination with Swills, but the FPS isn't that much higher, honestly, and the hits just, they feel like kind of laggy. Yeah, it was probably not a good idea to do this. I'm gonna have to reset my PC again. Alright, killed him there. Got the dead. I'm dead here, but I should be able to kill him next. Also, guys, make sure to comment below if you want me to try StopTheLag next and like the video. All right, let me hop into a survival world and see how the FPS stacks up. Yeah, my FPS does seem around 200 FPS higher, which is pretty good. But yeah, all right, so I just finished using every single optimizer, and the winner is Swills. Congratulations. Use my link in the description if you do want to try it out. However, I do recommend trying out the other ones. Currently, Hone is the only one that's free. However, both StopTheLag and Swills are adding a free version soon, I believe. If you're interested in getting multiple of them, I recommend getting like StopTheLag and Swills together. However, Hone isn't honestly a bad choice. Just do not mix Hone and Swills. Try to get this video to like 500 likes maybe, and I'll do a part 2 using other optimizers like StopTheLag, and comment below some other ones I should try. Subscribe. Let's get 30k subs so I can get YouTube ranked, and peace out, guys.